Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Unknown Factions. I'm the Maritime Warrior, and this series is going to cover factions in pro wrestling that the mainstream public might not know about. And for episode 1, we're going to take a look at one of my all-time favorite factions, Crazy Max. Crazy Max was formed in 1997 by Shima Nobunaga, Judo Suwa, and Sumo Fuji. They were part of Ultimo Dragon's first class at the Ultimo Dragon Gym. They worked a lot in Mexico early in their career, but they would make their return to Japan in December of 1997. The first championships that Crazy Max would win is the Distrito Federal Trios Championships. They held those titles for 287 days between 1997 and 1998. Shima Nobunaga would also hold the IWRG Intercontinental Welterweight Championship for 175 days between 1998 and 1999. In 1999, Crazy Max would expand, with new members Taru and Chocoball Kobe joining. Also, for a while in the late 90s, Crazy Max worked for Michinoku Pro Wrestling as their top heel faction. In 1999, Suwa would win his first singles championship, that being the NWA World Welterweight title. In the early 2000s, the top trios title in Toryumon, Japan was the UWA World Trios title, and Crazy Max held these titles 4 times. 3 of those reigns were Shima, Suwa, and Don Fuji, and one of those reigns was Shima, Don Fuji, and Taru. Other titles that were held by members of Crazy Max would be the NWA International Junior Heavyweight title that Shima held. There was also the British Commonwealth Junior Heavyweight title that was held by Suwa and one of the later members of Crazy Max, June. The Ultimo Dragon Gym Championship would become the top title of Toryumon, Japan, and the first man to hold that title would be Crazy Max Shima. He won the vacant title by beating Genki Horiguchi, and he would lose the title to Magnum Tokyo. Suwa would be the one to bring the title back to Crazy Max after he defeated Magnum Tokyo. Suwa would never lose the title would be vacated. The vacant title would be won by Shima of Crazy Max. So Crazy Max in grand total held the Ultimo Dragon Gym Championship 3 times. Upon winning the Ultimo Dragon Gym Championship, the title would be retired as Toryumon Japan would close its doors and would be replaced by Dragon Gate. For being the last Ultimo Dragon Gym champion, Shima would be crowned the first ever Open the Dream Gate champion. Not long after Dragon Gate was started, Crazy Max would disband. Here are all the members that were in Crazy Max. Shima Nobunaga, later on Shima, would be in Crazy Max from 1997 to 2004. Sumo Fuji, who would later on be Big Fuji, and Don Fuji would also be in Crazy Max from 1997 to 2004. Judo Suwa, who would later on just be Suwa, would be with Crazy Max from 1997 to 2004. Taru would be with Crazy Max from 1999 to 2004. Chocoball Kobe would be with Crazy Max from 1999 to 2000. Makoto would be with Crazy Max from 1999 to 2000. Stalker Ichikawa would be with Crazy Max from 1999 to 2001. Taru Sito would be with Crazy Max from 2000 to 2002, June would be with Crazy Max from 2003 to 2004, and the final member of Crazy Max would be Shingo Takagi, who would be a member in 2004. There would also be a parody group called Mini Crazy Max with Small Dandy Fuji, Mini Shima, Suasito, Tarusito, and Tarusito 2. When Toryumon Japan closed its doors and Crazy Max disbanded, Shima would start Blood Generation, Don Fuji would remain with Dragon Gate, but Suwa and Taru would leave Dragon Gate. Suwa would eventually join Pro Wrestling Noah and is now retired. Taru still wrestles on the Japanese independents to this day. And that's a brief history of Crazy Max. This was the first episode of Unknown Factions. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.